if the market was going down, it'd be Black Monday, or like people like say that everything's like, when something's going wrong, it's the darkest period of like their life. And
what about Black Friday?
The word Negro literally translates in Spanish into the color black. Right. So that's where they even got that from back during Jim Crow time anyway. Yeah. But 40 Acres and a Mule originates from
Spike Lee's production company.
No. it does that. It is called 40 Acres and a Mule. Thank you for mentioning, man. We appreciate that. But no, it originates from the slaves being free, and down the line, the descendants of the slaves were promised 40 acres and a mule.
That's right.
And
due for pain and suffering, called reparations. And to this day, I don't know anybody who's ever seen an acre, a mule, a toy mule,
nothing.
A toy acre, green acres,
just
anything.
The words on the paper. That's very interesting. Why hasn't anyone prior to
because think about it,
sued the government for that?
Think about it. African Americans are a good at least what 30% of this population in this country alone. Mm-hmm. If you gave every black person in this country 40 acres and a mule, do you know how much land in the United States that is alone? We would totally rule this country.
Well,
they're
where they
never
probably
going to give that.
Where it probably is. It's probably buried in paperwork. And if they couldn't read or write to fill out the paperwork to receive that 40 acre and a mule, that's probably why. Mm-hmm. And let's get a report.
Pushback Radio.
L. Lewis Latimer improved the electric light, and now we see clearly even at night. M. Madam C.J. Walker made many women smile. Her products allowed them to comb hair with style. N. Newman Marshman did not seek any hype. With Lee Burridge, he built a machine used to type. O. Ozzie Williams' ideas will never be tossed, since his radar helped people find planes that were lost. P. Percy Julian practiced science to the letter and made many products that make us feel better. Q. Quilting frames had many uses because Thomas Elkins made no excuses.
And we're back.
So, right here, I'm always on the blogs, and it says that Donald Trump thinks that Barack Obama and his administration are behind the protests and leaks.
I heard that.
Yes, and every time we see Barack Obama, he's on the back of somebody's jet ski. He's wrestling with philanthropist billionaires on yachts. He looks like he's just plotting against you, Donald. Every time I see him,
exactly.
I can say this: the country of France, they're up for elections are coming up, and actually, there's a petition going around, and they actually want Obama to be their next prime minister or president or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one of those you're going to miss me when I'm gone.
It is. How another country won't me. America going to be jealous if he does.
It's like
you want our ex-friends?
Right. Okay. I have a joke. Thomas Adams, year 1870. What happened? He was experimenting with chicle, the sap of a South American tree, as a substitute for rubber. After mounting failures, and dejected inventor popped a piece into his mouth. Big discovery. He liked it. As a result, Adams' New York #1 became the first mass-produced chewing gum in the world.
Oh, that's interesting. I have a joke if you guys want. Inventor Horace Wells in 1844, in its heyday, nitrous oxide was strictly a party favorite because it made people laugh uncontrollably like hyenas. But a friend of the dentist took too much of the laughing gas at a stage show and gashed his leg. The discovery led to him not realizing he had hurt himself, and nitrous oxide becoming an early form of anesthesia.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Steps Radio is now accepting new teen applicants for the spring enrollment. Parents act now. 313-649-PUSH. That's 313-649-7874.
I'm going to elaborate on that. Steps is holding an open enrollment. Don't miss out. Call at 313-868-13440 extension 111. Be sure to leave child's name, age, school, GPA, and phone number. Wayne County only.
Okay, I have a question for everybody. Okay, so if Black History was a superhero, which would it be?
Green Lantern?
Captain Planet.
Green Lantern. Gotta be Green Lantern.
Superman.
Always Superman. Actually,
Captain Planet is bossy, though.
the Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
Because
Just
he
smash.
is unstoppable. I don't care what you do to him. He's still, you can't kill him. You can't kill him.
Logan. What
Black
about Logan?
History Month would be a god like Thor.
Yeah. Well, what about Logan, the X-Man? You can't kill him.
Yeah.
That's what I said about because
It's dope for X-Men to be the and Wolverine.
right, and
Like you could be
Incredible
Professor
Hulk.
X
Did I
or
say,
Jean Grey
well, I
or
said
something.
Logan or Wolverine? It is Wolverine.
Yeah,
His
but
real
see-
name is Logan.
Oh, Logan.
In the
Gotcha.
show,
See?
yeah.
Look at me.
But the Incredible Hulk, he is a man who changes into and goes into beast mode. Same thing. Black people, we can go into beast mode.
I woke up in beast mode.
Are there any black superhero? Faith, are there some black?
Yes, there's Storm. There's Black Panther.
How can you not say that? Black Lantern was, not Black Lantern.
It was
Green
a black
Lantern
Green
was
Green
black.
Lantern was black?
There was a
was
version
black.
of Green Lantern where he was black.
Oh, see, I need
The
to get
original,
that.
yes. He
The
was
original?
black.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What else? And actually, in the Marvel universe, let me dork out on y'all real quick. Did
Do
you
it.
know that Black Panther is by far the wealthiest character in the entire Marvel universe, killing Tony Stark by about $400 billion?
I thought Batman was the...
No, Batman
No.
is DC Comics.
That's
Oh.
So in the Marvel universe, Tony Stark was thought to be the richest out of being a billionaire, but actually the African prince, who is
That's
Black
right.
Panther, has about $500 billion worth of his
Wow.
product, that black material that he harnesses. I don't know what it's called.
Shout out to Cass Tech. MJB, how you feel doing your first show? Coming number one?
Oh, yeah, it's a blessing because I know we've been working on that for a long time. So I'm so happy that we're number one in the city with our basketball team.
All right.
Really? So, how do you feel about, I have a question for everyone. So, since you all are not on the chopping block, one of the things that I was asked by the senator, he said to us, okay, you said that your failing schools, we shouldn't close them. What do you consider, which schools do you consider to be in the middle? Like, which schools are not high performing? Because he mentioned
You
Cass.
asked the lawmaker that?
He asked us that because he said, okay, well, you have schools like Renaissance and you have schools like Cass who are, performing at an exceptional rate. And then you have the supposedly failing schools. Well, which ones do you all consider to be in the middle?
And what did you guys say?
I said all of the schools on the closing list. I said all of the high schools or all of the schools in the city of Detroit. I said we have Cass and Renaissance, and then all of the other schools.
Let me ask you this:
should be in
did
the
anybody ask the question? How did they come up with the determination of which schools closed and which schools stayed open?
Yes, they come up with the determination that there is a law in place that they're trying to fight against that allows the state to close schools that are performing in the bottom percentile.
Oh, okay.
So that could be any school.
Make sure you keep rocking with us right here on 1440 WMKM. Let's get another report, Benjamin.
Let's do that.
I'm happy to be thug and drug free.
R. Robert Allen helped us track nickels and dimes. His coin counting tube came right on time. S. Sarah Boone loves style, and it certainly shows. Because of her, we can iron our clothes. T. Thomas Jennings was the first of this race to receive a patent and set the pace. U. Ultraviolet cameras were proving their worth since George Carruthers found ways to look at the earth. V. Virgil Trice's beads stand tall like a tower. he spent many years studying nuclear power. W. William Purvis wanted us to write clearly. His fountain pen helps, and we thank him dearly. X. X-ray machines could be moved space to space because Frederick Jones had a vision in place. Y. Yarn can be tangled and bend like a folder, so Julia Hammonds designed a yarn holder. Z. Zirconia became a beautiful sight when Jonathan Smith made it nice and bright. The end.
Steph's Radio. Facebook.com/.
And we're back. What did y'all think of that last report? I like how it went through the whole alphabet. That was dope.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
And that music was dope.
A yarn holder. And you know what? I'm gonna get my inventor game up. A yarn holder. I gotta do something.
Okay.
For real. I really do.
So who do you guys think gets more credit in your view? President Abraham Lincoln, who freed slaves, or the men and women who fought and won the Civil War? Gets more credit.
Good question.
I think Lincoln gets too much credit because he freed the slaves. Yes, he detested slavery. He was all right in my book for that. But he did not like black people. And that's a not very well known fact. He was not, he was known today, he was documented as have used the N-word continuously. He was not very kind to black people. He just opposed slavery because it was unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm. I think the women and the men, black and white, that fought in the Civil War on the Union side deserve a lot of credit.
Yes, I do so. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors and supporters. Pushback Power and Think Before You Drink, Arrive Alive, and Stop Texting Behind the Wheel.
You know, prevention works. Parents, get your teens involved with a positive after-school program for the fall. Call STEPS, NCADD to enroll, 313-649-PUSH. Get ready.
You guys don't be afraid to call and weigh in, 313-649-PUSH or 313-649-7874. Who do you guys think gets more credit? President Abraham Lincoln or the men and women who fought and won the Civil War?
That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. So what do you all think that the new elected school board should do with the $170 million budget that they have to run the new school district?
Is that a surplus?
That is...
Or just the allocated amount?
That is the allocated amount that they have given to bail out. So that is the official bailout number.
That's for
First
DPS?
thing they need to do is to compensate these teachers for all that back pay they were promised from working that summer school that they never paid them for. They need to compensate these teachers because these teachers literally do so much. They come out of pocket for these kids. I know teachers. I volunteered up at CAS and know a teacher that comes out of her pocket every day on food, costumes for her forensics team.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think that money should start trickling down to direct services and not be top heavy. You know, one of the biggest things that, you know, in Detroit is that, you know, our youth and the students that, you know, they're the next, you all are the next inventors, you're the next doctors, the next lawyers, the next politicians, mayors, you know, and they should, you know, take that money to invest. Because I just this morning left Golightly and Aerospace Engineering, and I found out that there are only 2 vocational schools left in the city of Detroit, and there was one on north, south, east, and west side.
Wow, that's something to hear about last day of Black History Month. That's very interesting.
Yeah, so all of those, you know, trades that students were learning, Golightly is down to they don't have auto mechanics anymore. They don't have a business school anymore. They don't have cosmetology anymore. So they have cooking. So
do you guys think that's the fault of the charter schools?
Yes, that came about. Actually, that was Robert Bob's fault.
I remember when DPS had over 50,000 students in this district.
In this district alone, and that building holds 1,500 students, and they are down to 500. And let's get another report.
You look everywhere around you. It's kind of like what James Brown said, was that every piece of music after him